Are you falling out of love with your passion? Do you feel as if so much mental energy is required to just do the simple things that you love? Whether it's playing guitar or writing a book or even reading a book or just anything creative, do you feel as if there's just so much resistance required for you to do a simple task that is meant to ignite your soul? If that is the case, please watch this video. Hopefully the information and wisdom that I share with you will put you on the right track to getting over this writer's block or creative rut and achieving your dreams. Hello, my name is Gwethan, I'm the founder of Hendrick, and our mission is to share wisdom to improve lives. I've been guilty of this myself all too much. I find myself in a creative hole, where the last thing that you want to do is to do the thing that you love the most. For example, over summer I've barely touched any of my instruments, I've not really made any music, and it just hasn't really occurred to me to get back into music. And when I've tried to practice the guitar or vocals, it just feels like there's so much resistance. It feels like so much mental energy is required just to do some basic simple practice that honestly I end up giving up. Part of this is to do with procrastination, and a lot of it is also to do with relying on motivation as my source of energy. Because here's the thing, it's rare that you're going to feel motivated. How often do you genuinely feel inspired or motivated to get up, do something, and really put all of your time and energy into that one thing? It's rare, right? When you're a creative person, I'm sure that all you want is just for motivation and inspiration to fall out the sky, but we both know that's not how life works. So here's the thing, you could wait around for motivation to come and achieve nothing, or you could start to improve and to build your levels of discipline. So discipline is about doing tasks, especially when you don't want to. Think about your favourite musicians, whether they're guitar players or I love heavy music, so people that scream. When they first started out, obviously, right, you get some people that are just insanely naturally talented, but for most people like you and I, that's just not the case. How often do you get pissed off when you hear someone say that you're so talented when in fact they're not acknowledging the hundreds, maybe thousands of hours that you've put into your craft? So where I'm going with this is your favourite musicians, your literal idols, they started somewhere, and I can guarantee you that where they started, they were fucking awful at what they did. My screaming teacher, for example, he told me that for the first year or two of him learning heavy vocals, he sounded like he was having an exorcism in his room. And I can confirm, when I'm practicing, when I'm learning this new skill, this new instrument, which is my voice, it genuinely sounds like a pig is being butchered alive in my bedroom. But that's okay, because part of discipline is just accepting that you're going to be shit at something, right? You have to be shit at something in order to grow and be good at it. So just embrace it as part of the process. I know when you're starting out and you are bad at something, it sucks. But at the end of the day, people that avoid failing also avoid success. I know for a fact that you do something and you're bad at it, so you just quit straight away, right? That's because you're scared of failure. That's because you're scared of not reaching perfectionism, but you're never gonna get that in the beginning. Take these YouTube videos, for example. With my previous videos that I made sort of May to July time, they were sort of focused similarly to this, but they were focused on self-development, self-improvement, that sort of stuff. But because I was so scared of failing, I was so scared of the videos not being perfect, I felt like I had to script every video word for word and learn all of these lines and speak line for line. It didn't feel like a conversation into a camera like this is. It just felt like me rehearsing something that I've written. It didn't feel authentic, it didn't feel like me, and I really fell out of love with it quickly. Hence why I took a break and I'm back making these sorts of videos, because I feel like a genuine conversation is much more authentic, it's much more connecting, and it just feels more natural to me. So what I'm trying to say is I procrastinated making videos, I put off making videos because I was just so scared of them being bad. And yeah, maybe the first few weren't great. I mean, this probably isn't even a great video in of itself, but you have to start somewhere. It's the same with any instrument. I've been playing guitar seriously for about 3 years, and I wouldn't even say that I'm at a professional level or even a level that I'm happy at. I can see that I've made progress and I'm proud of the progress that I've made, but I wouldn't say I'm exactly where I want to be, and I've been doing this for at least 3 years, so these things just take time, and they require just letting go and, you know, not being so serious about yourself and being so uptight and so dedicated towards perfection. It just requires just letting yourself be vulnerable and just being shit. So if I was going to give you some advice for building discipline and not just relying on motivation, the first thing I would recommend would be to limit the resistance between you and your craft. So an example that I've seen on the internet is people that have their guitars in their cases, they're less likely to play it than if the guitar was on a stand, because there's just an extra step mentally between them and their instrument that it kind of pushes them away from practice. So if you're stuck with a musical instrument, I would always recommend having it out on a stand, plugged in, ready to go. So literally all you need to do to get playing is to pick it up, turn on whatever equipment you've got and just get to it, because if you have to sit there, empty the cases, wire everything up, you're just going to procrastinate. I know you're going to procrastinate because you're watching this video. You're probably creative minded, and that means that you always fucking procrastinate. So that's one thing that I would recommend doing. The second, as I've mentioned before, is to just not strive for perfection, not hate yourself if what you're creating isn't perfect, and to just embrace failure. Like, I've mentioned this in a video before, and it's never not going to be true. If you can't face failure, you're never going to grow, because all of the self-limiting beliefs that you have when you're trying to develop a skill or develop yourself, they're just part of the process. You could run away from these thoughts. You could quit everything you're doing as soon as you get one limiting belief about that you can't do it. But then you're just never going to achieve it, do you know what I mean? Think about in 30 years' time. Would you rather be looking back to this very moment when you're watching this video? Would you rather be really proud that you kept going, you pushed through all of your mental hurdles, all of the hurdles of naysayers around you, and you achieved your dreams and you built success in whatever your niche is, whatever your craft is? Or the alternative to that, which is you'd be looking back at 30 years of regret because you were too scared, you know, too embarrassed and not confident enough within yourself to take the step and put in the work to work towards whatever you're trying to build. Remember, the pain of discipline is always significantly less than the pain of regret. So another step I would recommend taking is just to step back from things. This is something that I really struggle with, because obviously I'm trying to learn how to produce music, how to write music, how to play the guitar, how to do vocals, and then I've also got to build the business, and I've got loads of other things to do in my personal life in between. So I struggle to just take a mental break, and that really wears me down, and I find that I burn out very quickly. I'm neurodivergent. I think I haven't been diagnosed because there's no point. I think I've probably got ADHD and loads of other stuff in between, right? Which means that I can juggle 100 things at once, but it means my brain is constantly moving so quickly that I just don't give it a break. Think of your brain as a sponge, right? It can absorb so much water until pouring more water into it is just counterproductive. And it's the same with your brain. You can fill it with so much information, but there gets to a point where it just needs to sit there and dry out, quote unquote, and really absorb the information, because then any more information that you're just filling your brain with past this certain level is just not going to sink in. It's just going to drip straight out. So think of taking a break as squeezing the sponge out, letting it dry, and getting it ready to absorb a new load of water or information. And honestly, I think the last point really is just show up. I know it's so simple to say. It's one of those things. It's like weight loss, right? It's really simple, because with weight loss, all you have to do is eat less calories than you put in. So stuff like this is simple. You just have to show up, but it's not easy. But that's where the discipline comes in that we mentioned previously. Once you've built the discipline to just show up, even if you just do 2 minutes of work, you're still moving in the right direction. Remember that it doesn't matter if the step that you take is 1,000 meters or 2 meters. A step forward is still a step in the right direction. It's still not a step backwards. Think about it as a snowball that rolls down a hill, right? As it builds speed and momentum, it gets exponentially bigger and bigger and bigger. That's the same with you and your progress. You start small as a tiny, tiny clump of ice at the top of this massive hill. But as you keep pushing yourself down, you just grow and grow and grow and grow and grow. What was once this tiny snowball is a huge fucking boulder of snow, and it's just unrecognizable to what it was before. And that is what progress is. Whilst you're this little snowball, you're going to have so many doubts about yourself and so many limiting beliefs that you can't do it, that you're wasting your time, that you're embarrassing yourself, you're being stupid, that it's not worth it. Because trust me, I get all of these thoughts too, and everyone that's creative, and even people that aren't creative, humans get these thoughts. It's almost like we're wired to have these thoughts, because growth and change comes from getting these thoughts, acknowledging them, and then just fucking them off and growing anyway. That's how you grow. It's like building muscles. Acknowledge your limiting beliefs and just don't pay them attention, or do pay them attention and go deeper and think, why am I thinking this? So say I'm thinking to myself, I'm never going to achieve my dreams, all of these people are right, I'm shit at this, I just fucking suck. You think, okay, you acknowledge what you're thinking, and then you ask yourself why you're thinking that. It's because, right, if you want to master something, whether it's an instrument, whether it's business, whether it's even just achieving your dreams, it's fucking difficult, right? You've got a tall fucking mountain to climb. And all of these limiting beliefs is just you being stood at the top of that massive mountain, just being like, oh my fucking God, this is going to be intense. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. It's just like your brain being scared. Like I said prior, the only way that you're going to build confidence and bravery and courage and just, the willpower to move on and to do what you say to yourself that you will do, is by just showing up and doing it. Even, like I said, if it's for 2 minutes, even if it's 2 meters worth of steps, you don't have to run a mile. You just have to show up and do something. I'm probably just waffling at this point, but if you feel as if you got some value out of this video, feel free to share it with one of your friends. Like, comment and subscribe and help us grow the channel, because at the end of the day, the more interaction that you give us means the bigger we can grow the audience, which then means the more production quality we can put into the videos, which then means we can help you more. So the more you share it with other people, the more we can help give you value. So it's a win-win for everybody. If you're interested in the kind of things that I talk about, I have an online entrepreneurship school for those in the creative industry, but we're specialising in music. It's called Hendrick Academy, and for the month of September, it's completely free. If you join now, you'll get free lifetime access. You'll never have to pay for anything. Seminars, workshops, courses. We're going to teach you how to grow in business. We're going to teach you all sorts of education and skills, how to market yourself, how to sort finances and build business plans and achieve your dreams and build a successful career in the niche that you love the most. That's what we're striving towards. We're also going to be giving loads of education about how to develop yourself mentally and build your confidence and eliminate self-limiting beliefs and all of that stuff. It's going to be an amazing project. So if you're interested and you don't feel like paying for it, now is your time to sign up. My name is Gwethan. You guys are amazing. Keep striving, keep working towards your goal, and just cut out all of the negative noise. I know that you can do it. I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.